Welcome, dear viewers, to the Truth Chronicles. Today, we set sail on an enlightening journey, a journey that will lead us from the humble streets of Liverpool, England, to the global stage of musical legends. We bring you closer to a man who wasn't just a person, but an icon, a beacon of hope, resilience, and revolutionary creativity. Today, we invite you to delve into the story of the captivating John Winston Lennon. From his early days to his meteoric rise, we will navigate through every chapter of his life, bringing you closer to the man behind the myth. So sit back, relax, and prepare to embark on this extraordinary exploration. Welcome to the dawn of a legend. Let's dive in. Who was the man behind the legendary band The Beatles? John Winston Lennon, born on October the 9th, 1940 in Liverpool, England, was the driving force behind one of the most influential bands in history. In the heart of Liverpool, a city renowned for its rich maritime history and vibrant cultural scene, a legend was born. John Winston Lennon first saw the light of day in the midst of World War II, a testament to resilience and hope in uncertain times. His father, Alfred Lennon, was a merchant seaman, sailing the vast seas and often absent from John's childhood. His mother, Julia Stanley, a shop assistant, held the fort at home, nurturing young John and his younger sister, Jacqueline. A half-sister, Julia, also became part of this unconventional family tapestry. Life was not without its challenges, but John navigated his early years with the same tenacity that would later define his musical career. His academic journey began at Dovedale Primary School, where he took his first steps into the world of education. As he grew older, he moved on to Quarrybank High School, a place that would play a pivotal role in shaping his future. It was here that he nurtured his love for words, a passion that would later find its way into his poignant song lyrics. In these formative years, John was just another face in the crowd, a Liverpool lad with dreams as big as his heart. Unbeknownst to him, destiny had plans of its own. He was not merely a boy growing up in post-war England, he was a legend in the making, a musical maestro waiting to unleash his magic on the world. And so, as John journeyed through his childhood and adolescence, a spark was ignited. It was a spark of creativity, of ambition, of a relentless drive to make his mark. This was the dawn of a legend, the beginning of a journey that would revolutionize the music industry and leave an indelible mark on the world. In these early years, a spark was ignited, a spark that would lead to a revolution in the world of music. Lennon's love for music was evident from an early age, teaching himself how to play the harmonica and the guitar. The young John Winston Lennon, hailing from Liverpool, England, found solace in the rhythmic cadence of music, his fingers dancing on the strings of a guitar and his breath shaping the notes on a harmonica. His passion for music was not merely a hobby, but a calling that would shape his destiny and that of music history. His first foray into the world of music was not as a solo act, but as part of a collective. In the year 1957, Lennon, along with his friends Pete Shotton and Eric Griffiths, formed a band they christened the Quarrymen. It was a name that echoed their shared past, a nod to their alma mater, Quarrybank High School. The Quarrymen were not just a group of enthusiastic teenagers strumming guitars. They were a conduit for Lennon's burgeoning talent and his exploration of diverse musical genres. The Quarrymen's repertoire was a vibrant mix of the era's rock and roll titans. They emulated the electrifying performances of Elvis Presley, the heartfelt melodies of Buddy Holly, and the raw energy of other rock and roll artists. Lennon, Shotton, and Griffiths didn't merely copy these music legends, they absorbed their styles, learning and growing with every performance. As the years rolled on, the Quarrymen underwent a transformation. The name The Quarrymen was shed, and in its place they adopted a new moniker, Johnny and the Moondogs. This name change signified a shift in their musical journey, a symbolic step towards carving their own unique identity in the music world. It was here that Lennon began to truly explore his musical talents, paving the way for the creation of the Beatles. This period of Lennon's life was a crucible, a time of experimentation and self-discovery that would eventually lead to the formation of a band that would redefine music for generations to come. 1960 marked a pivotal year for Lennon, as he met Paul McCartney at a church fete and the two began writing songs together. This encounter proved to be a turning point, not just for their personal lives, but for the music world as a whole. The two shared a passion for melody and a gift for crafting songs that would resonate with listeners far and wide. It was this shared vision that led to the formation of a band that would eventually become a household name, the Beatles. The Beatles' journey from obscurity to international stardom was not a straight and easy path. Their early days were spent playing gigs in the gritty clubs of Hamburg, Germany, and back home in Liverpool. These were the proving grounds where Lennon, McCartney, along with George Harrison and Stuart Sutcliffe, honed their skills, built their repertoire, and developed their distinctive sound. In 1962, their hard work paid off when they signed with Parlophone Records. And with the addition of Ringo Starr, the final piece of the puzzle was in place. The Beatles were ready to take the world by storm. The band released a series of albums and singles that would solidify their place in music history. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, released in 1967, was a groundbreaking piece of work, blending rock with elements of classical music, Indian music, and pop art. It was an album that broke boundaries and set new standards for what popular music could be. Revolver, released a year earlier, was another masterpiece featuring a diverse range of songs from the psychedelic Tomorrow Never Knows to the melancholic Eleanor Rigby. It showcased the band's evolving musical style and their willingness to experiment with new sounds and techniques. Rubber Soul and Abbey Road were no less influential. Each album was a testament to the band's versatility, creativity, and their ability to connect with audiences on a deep emotional level. The Beatles' impact extended beyond the music. They influenced fashion, language, and attitudes towards everything from politics to spirituality. They were more than just a band, they were a cultural phenomenon. Their songs became anthems for a generation, capturing the spirit of the times and reflecting the hopes, dreams, and concerns of young people across the globe. Their music transcended borders and cultures, resonating with fans from all walks of life. The Beatles' popularity was unprecedented, and their influence continues to be felt today, more than half a century later. The Beatles, with Lennon at the helm, had become a cultural phenomenon, forever changing the landscape of music. Their legacy remains as strong as ever, a testament to their enduring appeal and their unique place in the annals of music history. Their story is a reminder of the power of music to inspire, to challenge, and to touch the hearts and minds of listeners around the world. After the Beatles disbanded in 1970, Lennon embarked on a solo journey, releasing his debut album, Plastic Ono Band. This album was a stark departure from the polished pop sound of the Beatles, leaning more towards raw, stripped-down rock and roll. It was as if Lennon was peeling back the layers of his artistry, revealing a more intimate and vulnerable side of himself. Among the standout tracks was the hit single Instant Karma, a song that swiftly climbed the charts, further cementing Lennon's status as a music maven. Following Plastic Ono Band, Lennon continued to experiment with his sound and lyrical themes. The year 1971 saw the release of Imagine, perhaps his most famous solo work. The title track, Imagine, is a hopeful ballad that dreams of a world without divisions and strife, a sentiment that resonated with listeners around the globe. It has since become a symbol of peace and unity, a testament to Lennon's ability to touch hearts and minds with his music. In the subsequent years, Lennon continued to break new ground with albums such as Sometime in New York City and Mind Games. These works showcased his ability to blend different musical styles, from rock and roll to blues to avant-garde. His lyrics, often politically charged and socially conscious, reflected his engagement with the world around him. Interestingly, in 1975, Lennon decided to take a step back from music. This wasn't a retirement per se, but rather a 5-year hiatus during which he focused on his personal life. Most notably, he dedicated this time to raising his son Sean, proving that even rock and roll legends have a soft spot for family. However, the lure of music was too strong for Lennon to resist permanently. He made a return in 1980 with the album Double Fantasy, a collaborative effort with his wife Yoko Ono. This album was a mix of love songs and rock numbers, reflecting Lennon's contentment with his life at the time. It was a triumphant return, reminding the world of his unmatched songwriting prowess. Sadly, Lennon's life was tragically cut short later that same year, but his impact on music is undeniable. From his early days with the Beatles to his solo career, Lennon consistently pushed the boundaries of what music could be. He wasn't afraid to experiment, to bare his soul, or to use his platform to speak out on issues that mattered to him. His solo career, in particular, demonstrated his incredible versatility and talent as a musician. Whether he was penning anthems of peace, crafting heartfelt love songs, or tackling social and political issues, Lennon did it all with an authenticity that was uniquely his own. Lennon's solo career demonstrated his incredible versatility and talent as a musician, reinforcing his position as a music legend. His music continues to inspire and influence artists across the globe, proving that his legacy is truly timeless. That's right, we're talking about John Lennon, a man whose life was as complex and captivating as his music. From his personal trials and triumphs to his political activism and struggles with addiction, Lennon was a figure of profound depth. His story continues to inspire and his legacy endures. So, shall we embark on this journey through the life of John Lennon? John Winston Lennon, born on the 9th of October 1940 in Liverpool, England, would grow up to change the world of music forever. John's early life was steeped in struggle and hardship. His father, a merchant seaman, was often away, and his mother, although loving, had a tumultuous personal life. Nevertheless, it was she who introduced John to the world of music, teaching him how to play the banjo and piano, and igniting a passion that would define his life. As a teenager, John was drawn to the rebellious spirit of rock and roll. He formed his first band, the Quarrymen, in 1956. The group would evolve over the years, gaining and losing members, before finally settling on a lineup that included Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. They became the Beatles in 1960, marking the start of a musical revolution. While his professional life was taking off, John's personal life was also changing. In 1962, he married his college sweetheart, Cynthia Powell. The two had met at the Liverpool College of Art and shared a deep connection. Their son, Julian, was born a year later in 1963. However, the pressures of fame and the demanding schedule of the Beatles took a toll on John's personal life. He was often away on tour, leaving Cynthia to raise Julian largely on her own. The couple's relationship began to strain, and rumors of infidelity started to surface. Despite the personal turmoil, John continued to create music that touched the hearts of millions. He was the driving force behind many of the Beatles' biggest hits, including Help and Strawberry Fields Forever. His lyrics often reflected his personal experiences and feelings, giving fans a glimpse into his world. The Beatles' fame was rising, but so were the challenges in Lennon's personal life. As the 60s rolled on, John found himself grappling with the dual pressures of public adoration and private upheaval. Yet through it all, he never lost sight of his passion for music and his desire to make a difference in the world. As the Beatles' popularity skyrocketed, Lennon's marriage to Cynthia was falling apart. The pressures of fame began to weigh heavily on the couple as they navigated their way through the dizzying heights of Beatlemania. Lennon, always the heart and soul of the band, found himself torn between his responsibilities as a husband, a father, and a cultural icon. The strain was too much, and in 1968, Lennon and Cynthia made the painful decision to divorce. It was a time of great change for Lennon, as he grappled with the end of his first marriage and the evolving dynamics within the Beatles. Despite the personal turmoil, he never lost his creative spark, continuing to contribute to the band's innovative sound and vision. The divorce, while painful, marked a turning point in Lennon's life, allowing him to forge a new path. And as one chapter of Lennon's life closed, another was about to begin. In 1969, Lennon married avant-garde artist Yoko Ono, marking a new phase in his life and career. Ono, a Japanese multimedia artist, singer, songwriter, and peace activist, brought a new dimension to Lennon's life, both personally and professionally. Their relationship was often described as symbiotic, as they fed off each other's creativity and eccentricities. In 1975, the couple welcomed a son, Sean. Parenthood, coupled with his deepening relationship with Ono, seemed to further fuel Lennon's passion for activism. Sean's birth marked a new, more introspective phase in Lennon's life, a phase that was characterized by a desire to make a difference in the world. Lennon's activism was both bold and controversial. He became increasingly vocal in his opposition to the Vietnam War, using his platform as an internationally renowned musician to voice his discontent. He and Ono staged 2-week-long bed-ins for peace in 1969, one at the Amsterdam Hilton Hotel and the other at Montreal's Queen Elizabeth Hotel, as non-violent protests against war. They were statements of rebellion, of peace and of unity, encapsulating Lennon's commitment to activism. In addition to his anti-war activism, Lennon was a strong supporter of peace movements. He used his music as a tool for spreading messages of peace and unity, as evident in songs like "Give Peace a Chance" and "Imagine." His lyrics often touched on themes of love, peace, and equality, reflecting his personal beliefs and his commitment to social change. But Lennon's activism was not without its challenges. He faced criticism and backlash from various corners, including the US government, which reportedly tried to deport him because of his outspoken opposition to the Vietnam War. His activism also made him a target for those who disagreed with his views and methods, but Lennon's activism and outspoken nature would not come without their own set of struggles. Despite his successful career and activism, Lennon struggled with drug use and alcoholism. A man of many talents, Lennon was not without his personal battles. The pressures of fame and the turbulence of his personal life led him down a path of substance abuse. He openly admitted to using drugs as a coping mechanism, a crutch to deal with the trials of life. His struggles with alcohol were just as public, often leading to erratic behavior and tension within his relationships. But Lennon was more than his struggles. He was a man of resilience, always striving to overcome his demons. His music often reflected this battle, providing a raw and honest depiction of his experiences. Yet these struggles were only a part of his story, a story that ended far too soon. On a chilly December evening in 1980, outside his New York City apartment building, the Dakota, Lennon's life was tragically cut short. The man responsible was Mark David Chapman, a deranged fan who had become dangerously obsessed with Lennon. Chapman had spent the day lingering around the Dakota, even getting an album signed by Lennon. Later that night, as Lennon returned home, Chapman emerged from the shadows firing 5 shots, 4 of which found their mark. The news of Lennon's assassination sent shockwaves around the globe. Fans gathered outside the Dakota, their tears falling onto the New York City sidewalks as they mourned the loss of an icon. The world had lost a beacon of hope, a voice for peace, and a revolutionary artist. Chapman was swiftly apprehended at the scene, a copy of J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye in his possession. He later pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. Lennon's untimely death shocked the world, but his legacy was far from over. In the wake of tragedy, his message of peace and love resonated even louder. His music continued to inspire, his words continued to provoke thought, and his life continued to touch millions. The final chapter of Lennon's life may have been written, but his story was far from over. John Lennon's legacy continues to inspire and influence even 4 decades after his passing. The man, the musician, the activist, Lennon was a multifaceted individual who left an indelible mark on the world. But how does his legacy endure? Let's delve deeper. Music was the medium through which Lennon communicated, and his profound influence on the industry is undeniable. From the Beatles to his solo career, Lennon's music was a reflection of his personal journey and the world around him. His unique blend of rock and roll, pop, and experimental music paved the way for countless musicians across multiple genres. His lyrics, often introspective and provocative, continue to resonate with audiences, transcending generational boundaries. But Lennon was more than just a musician. His activism, particularly in opposition to the Vietnam War, and his support for peace movements made him a figure of social and political significance. His message of love and peace, encapsulated in songs like "Imagine" and "Give Peace a Chance," remains relevant in a world that continues to grapple with conflict and division. Lennon's enduring influence was acknowledged by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with not 1, but 2 inductions. The first came in 1988 as a member of the Beatles, and then in 1994 he was honored again, this time as a solo artist. These inductions serve as a testament to his significant contribution to the music industry and his lasting impact on popular culture. Various tributes have been paid to Lennon over the years. Among the most significant is the annual John Lennon tribute concert held in New York City. The event brings together artists from around the world, each performing their own rendition of Lennon's songs, a testament to his enduring influence. Beyond the music and the tributes, Lennon's legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those he has touched. His life, though marked by struggle and tragedy, serves as a reminder of the power of resilience, the importance of authenticity, and the potential of one voice to effect change. John Lennon was more than just a Beatle. He was a man who used his voice for change. A man who, despite his struggles, left a legacy of love and peace that endures to this day. In closing, we reflect on the life and legacy of John Lennon, a man who, through his music and activism, sought to change the world. His journey was not without its struggles, and yet he remained resolute in his pursuit of peace and love. Lennon's enduring legacy serves as a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of music and the strength of the human spirit. His words and melodies continue to resonate, reminding us that change is possible, that love can triumph over adversity, and that everyone has the power to make a difference. As we remember John Lennon, we are reminded of the transformative power of music and the enduring impact of one man's dream. His dream of peace, love, and unity continues to inspire, serving as a call to action for each of us to contribute to a better world. So let us keep his memory alive, not just by listening to his music, but by living out his message of peace and love, for that is the true legacy of John Lennon. Outro, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Truth Chronicles for more such videos. From the lives of iconic figures to the mysteries of the universe, we've got you covered. Stay tuned for more insightful and engaging content, and remember, the truth is out there waiting to be discovered.